Today I just want to give a little lesson, a few tips I've learned about using this 3M Positionable Mounting Adhesive, sometimes called PMA. It's actually 568 Positionable Mounting Adhesive, and then this is the actual adhesive. It comes on sort of a waxy paper, and there's glue applied to one surface of this paper. When you take a photographic print or a piece of artwork and lay it on here, and then lay the liner on top of your print, and then go over it with this squeegee, apply pressure to the whole thing. When you lift the print off, the glue sticks to the back of the print, and then when you apply the print to a mounting board, it's temporarily only attached until you apply pressure to it once again. Once you do that, it's permanent. It's not coming off. I've tried it. You're not getting that print off of there. This is just as permanent as the heat pressure tissue stuff that you have to put inside of a press, except this is a little bit easier to work with and a lot cheaper. You don't have to, if you feel like buying one of those presses, you'll know that they're several $100s even used. So anyhow, there's a couple of tricks that I've learned with using this stuff, and I want to show you one of the things is with your print. What you want to do is when you put the print down on the paper, and then you start to peel it up, the glue on the paper, the adhesive, sometimes leaves long strings as you're peeling it away from the back of your print to the wax paper here. And when it finally snaps, sometimes it can wrap up and whip around to the front of your print and leave a little glue on the front of your print. And it's hard to get off. And even when you do, it could leave a little mark or some blemish on the front of your print, and you don't want that. I figured out that if you take a really low tack masking tape, in this case this is frog tape, the yellow stuff. Since I made this video, I found out that the frog tape is probably not the best tape for this trick. It doesn't peel up the print and it doesn't leave any residue, but it does kind of make a little line. You can see where the tape was on pure black parts of the print. On gray, white, you won't see anything, but wherever there is a solid black part of the print, you'll see a little line, you'll be able to see something. You can remove it. I just took the print and rubbed it up against my t-shirt, and it seemed to fix everything, but it's still not exactly what you probably want. I have used in the past this purple stuff called Pro Painters Plus. I haven't been able to find it anywhere. I don't know if they don't make it anymore. I couldn't even find it on the internet. That stuff was perfect. So if you have any Pro Painters Plus purple tape, it's a 30-day tape, which means it can be removed up to 30 days after application. That stuff is perfect. Doesn't leave any residue, doesn't leave any lines, doesn't stick hardly at all. It's got a very low tack. If I can find something else like that, I'm gonna use it, and I'll add that in the description. If anybody knows of any tape that is similar or knows where I can find this stuff, let me know in the comments. Thanks a lot. Go around the perimeter of the front of your print, and that may seem weird, but if you go around the perimeter of it without overlapping, you want it to be completely on the print with nothing overlapping. Then, when you put this on the PMA and peel it off, even if the glue wraps up, it only sticks to the tape that's around the perimeter. And since the tape is very low tack, after you have this mounted, and not before, after you've got this permanently affixed, you can then peel up the tape, and it peels all that glue with it, carefully, so that you don't want to create any more strings if you've got a big blob of glue on there or something. But you just peel that tape up all the way around the corners, and that's it. It doesn't leave any marks on the face of your print, and if there was any glue on the edge of there, it peels most of the glue up with it so that there's no glue left around the edge of the print even after it's mounted. Now with mine, when I'm mounting mine, I like to use what's called a window mount, so that my print, the edges of the print are all exposed inside the mat opening. So I don't want anything on my mount board like glue, and I don't want anything on the front of the print. Now if you were just using a what's called a window mount or window mat, where the mat actually covers the edges of your print, none of this would be a problem. But for me, I wanted a pristine print edge to edge, and so I had to come up with something to keep that glue from screwing up my prints. So I'm going to get started on putting the tape around the edge, and we'll come back to the video in just a minute. Okay, once you get the tape all on, you don't have to really press this down really hard because it's not going to be permanent. You're going to be taking it up in a minute anyhow. But it's only there just to temporarily protect the edges. There's an added benefit of this. Once you start handling the print with the glue, with the adhesive on the back, your fingers might get some adhesive on them. And that's going to happen. I would recommend not wearing gloves because the gloves will actually get more adhesive. It'll get all over the place. If you do this with bare fingers, if you do get some adhesive on them, you can just roll your fingers like that and it'll just sort of flake off. But you don't have to worry about getting on the print because you've got the edges of the printer protected by the tape. So you can handle this all day long with greasy fingers even, and none of it will get onto the face of the print as long as you don't handle the edge beyond the tape. And once you take the tape off, anything that's on the tape comes with it. So the print is actually protected. So with the PMA, what I'll do is I'll lay out my prints sort of efficient as I can so that I can reuse as much of this thing as possible. Now I've done some 13 by 19 prints on This Is All the Used section over here, and they come from about here to here. This is a 24-inch wide roll, but I've got a section down here where I can do some small 4x6s or whatever. And so I keep all this until I do those. So I can still lay those out side by side. This is an 8x12, so I'm going to lay this one out right near the edge. And you can see when you're doing this where your prints have been before because the surface has a different sort of reflectivity to it. So once you've peeled one off, there's no more adhesive on there. This side's been used. This is where the adhesive still is, and I can tell where that's at. So you can see like a line. You can just set this up right next to that line and just lay it down. Now the roll of PMA comes with this liner. This goes down here, printed side up. Don't get that wrong. And it comes with a little squeegee. You can also use a brayer, which is a roller that printers use. This works fine. It's not that hard. All you got to do is just squeegee along. Apply moderate pressure. You don't have to press really hard. And all you're doing is getting the entire back surface of that print in contact with the adhesive. Once that's done, this has like a waxy surface to it, so it doesn't stick to the adhesive that's underneath the print. So this can be reused a million times. And once that's down, all you can do is find the edge and start peeling it up. And you're probably not going to be able to see this on video, but there's little stringy, almost spiderweb-like parts of the adhesive right along the edge. Along the feel of it doesn't matter, but right along the edge is where you're worried about. And what that does is it peels up all the adhesive that was formerly on this, and it's all now on the back of my print. Let's see if I can get that to see that. Can you see this little big waxy trail here? There you go. So now that's up. Now you can handle this. Some of the adhesive might come off on your fingers, so you don't want to finger the whole back of the print up. But it's not really going to affect the way it adheres to your the final surface. And like I said, the tape constantly keeps the face of the print protected from anything you might handle. Okay, so now you get that out of the way. All right, now what I like to do is, now if you're, once again, if you're doing a window or a window mat, this is going to cover, the mat's going to cover the edges of your print. So you can actually make little marks on your mounting board in here, and then just lay this down on the marks and get it perfectly centered or placed wherever you want it. Since my mounting board is actually going to show through the mat opening, what I'll do is I've got this cut so that I have a precise 1/4 inch border showing on the top and sides, and on the bottom a 1/2 inch, so that I can write on the mounting board the title and put my signature over here. So it's not that hard for that 1/4 inch border for me to eyeball that. What I'll do is I'll just lay this down and sort of eyeball. I think I got it perfect the first time. And then just drop it down. Yeah, it's right on. So I got lucky that time. The benefit of the PMA is because it's positionable, right now it's not permanently affixed. I could still peel this up and move it to another spot if I wanted to. So that's fantastic. And at this point, I still don't want to pull the tape up, but I can open this up, put my liner on there once again. Now, while the print is positionable at this point, it's not going to be moving around underneath this thing. It's held in place pretty good. But I take the squeegee and just put the same amount of pressure that you applied when you were using the PMA on the paper on the roll, and just go around the print. There's not likely to be any bubbles underneath your print, but I just like to go from the center out just to be sure. And that's it. That thing is not coming up again. I have tried to take this up. I had a print that I screwed up one time and tried to remove it, and the face of the print peeled away from the paper before the paper pulled away from my mounting board. It delaminated the whole thing. So this is as permanent as any solution you're going to get. All you have to do now is find the tape and carefully peel this away. And if you get good low tack tape, don't get cheap tape. This is not cheap stuff. I think this was just under $6 per roll, and it's like I said, it's frog tape. It's yellow. It's 1 inch by 60 yards. So 180 feet. That'll go a long way. You can do a lot. It's one-time use only, though. You can't reuse this tape on another print. Well, I guess you could, but it would be extremely difficult to work with. So let's see if I get this other edge here. Now, if you do find that there are any globs, this one came out pretty clean. If there are any globs of the adhesive on the face of the tape, when you're peeling this up, peel it straight. Don't peel it this way or this way. Just peel it straight over itself, and that tends to cut and or tear the glue so that it just sticks right to the tape. What you don't want to do is repeat the problem you have that you're trying to avoid in the first place, which is as you're pulling the tape off, some of the glue on the tape falls back onto the face of the print. That would be bad. Like I said, getting that glue off of the print, while it can be done, it's usually going to leave a little mark or something where you can pick it off probably with a really sharp, precise tweezer, and I've done that for very small globs. But there's always a chance that it could mar your finished print. Just gotta find the edge of it. Since it is such low stick, and since it's only temporary, you don't really have to press the tape down that hard. So you don't have to make it hard to get off. In other words, just run your finger over it lightly over the edge just to seal it, and that's it. You're going to be taking it off again in a couple minutes. There we go. Now I also wrote this tip on a review of the 3M PMA on Amazon. So if you've seen the PMA for sale on Amazon, maybe you've read this, read my review of it. But I couldn't find a video of the PMA being used except for, I think I saw a video made by 3M, but it wasn't how to use it. It was more just a sort of an explanation of what it is. So I wanted to make sure that anybody that was thinking about using this, that was thinking about trying to find an alternative to the tissue, that they could see this video and maybe it would help them out. And there we go. There's a finished, permanently mounted print, and that's not going anywhere. Now all that's left for me is to sign it and title it, and that's ready to go. Hope this helped. Thanks for watching.